G'day gang. This week I'm going to show you the auxiliary switches system. I'm going to show you the location of all the components. I'm going to show you where the tails are along with the grounding points for you to hook up your accessories.
Hello and welcome to Audrey the Icon Adventures. I'm Connie.
And I'm Daryl.
And this is Audrey the Icon.
Here's a view of the aux switches. The switches are labelled aux 1 through to aux 6, and that's from passenger side of the car to the driver side of the car. Switches number 5 and 6 are dedicated for spotlights, driving lights, those types of devices that only work when you have your high beam on. They illuminate blue when they are in the off position. The off position is switched towards the rear of the vehicle. If you switch them forwards, the illumination goes off. That's just with the door open at the moment. Looking at the accessory switches, we've got the door open. It's been open for a while, so the blue illumination has gone out. I'm just going to press the engine start button without the brake pedal. That way it doesn't start. And you'll see that the blue illumination comes on for all of them. And we're going to get some dings and dongs and carry on because I've got things open and whatnot. If we turn a switch to the on position, you'll see that the illumination changes to an amber colour. The circuits that these switches control will only operate when the car is running. So even though we've got the illumination, that's all we've got at the moment. Any load connected up to the 6 tails that I'm going to show you shortly, none of them liven up with the car just sitting here with accessories on. I just turned the accessories off and you can see that the amber illumination disappeared straight away. Flick the switch back to the off position and you get back to the blue illumination. That turns off after a few seconds. Here we are at the back left of the car. You can see our lovely spare tyre just there. Up here, just inside the chassis rail, we've got 4 tails, and they've actually got some rather large tags on them. 2 of the tags say compressor, and 2 of them say camp light. So there is actually a positive from the relay up front, and a negative tail there ready for you to use. You don't need to go and dig out another negative or grounding point. These are for aux switch number 3 and 4. Here we are looking at the battery area, and in this area there's 4 tails from the auxiliary switches. There's a tail right here and it's taped up to this harness. This harness actually comes out of the little power module, which has got fuses and relays in it. And down next to that, taped up here as well, is another 3 tails. I'm going to cut all those open so we can see exactly what is there for us to be able to utilise to hook up our accessories with. These are the 2 tails that were taped up just behind the radiator cowl here. There's a plain yellow and there's a black yellow just over here to the left. A little bit hard to see because they're all black. There's 3 tails there, and they were what were folded over beside the little power module. Inside the auxiliary fuse box, we've got 8 relays, 1 blade fuse, and 5 fusible links. Now, you'd think, oh, they'd just be numbered 1 through 6 and 1 through 8. Not quite, it's just a little bit different. So the little blade fuse up here is number 1, and it's a little 5 amp fuse, and that is for circuit number 1. The first fusible link we get to is 15 amp. That's actually for aux circuit number 3. Next one down, another 15 amp, that's for aux circuit number 2. Then it happens to be aux circuit 4, 5 and 6. So it's just these first 2 here and back to front just to confuse you if you're not careful. The 6 relays here are what the aux switches control. and these are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For the spotlights, we use aux circuit number 6, so that's the 25 amp fusible link here closest to the edge, and it happens to be this relay here at the top right corner. The two small relays, number 7 and number 8, have special purposes as well. Relay 7 gets enabled by turning your high beam on, and then relay 7 supplies power back up to switch number 5 and 6 in the overhead console. Relay number 8 is activated when you start the engine, and it supplies power up to switches number 1 to 4. So the two relays here purely provide power to the switches, and then the switches come back and operate their relevant relay down here that provides power out to the tails that I've already shown you. Getting power from the battery into the aux fuse box here comes off this stud right here at the end of the link on the positive terminal of the battery. Just ducks it down and around, tucks around, comes up underneath the box here. There's the other three tails we talked about before. This harness here comes out of the bottom. It has two tails that are all the way down the back of the car, and it also comes around and supplies this tail just here, and it'll also have the control wires that go back to the switches. Being that we now have all these power tails to be able to use for our accessories, not all of them have got a negative or a ground. Ford in their design have given us quite a few to be able to use, and hopefully they're somewhere that's near convenient. That's the battery clamp there. So the first one that we can use is just here on the inside of the guard. In the manual they talk about fenders. We don't have fenders on our cars in Australia. The next point is up here on the cowl, just above all these huge connectors. Just above the brake reservoir, there's another point. Just near the cooling system header tank, there's another point here again on the inner guard. Now there's two more that are quite difficult to show. One of them's down below the airbox, and it's on the side of the chassis for where the right front suspension attaches. Another one is right down here below the battery, and again it's on the chassis just near where the suspension attaches. We're at the back of the car again, looking. The spare wheel is just at the bottom of the screen. If we poke through here, and my magnet is going to grab onto everything it can, there's one negative or grounding point just up here on the inside of the left chassis rail. A little awkward to get at and to show. This is the last one I wanted to show you, just up here. It's on the right hand outside of the chassis rail at the rear, and a little awkward to get at. This big bolt here, this is for the rear hanger of the spring. That'll give you an idea of where you've got to look up to find this particular ground point. There you go. Hope you found that helpful. If there's anything else you'd like to know about a Ranger Super Duty, pop it in the comments below and I'll get something sorted for you. Thanks for watching. Happy travels.